Thank you for tuning in and welcome to Errant painting. Today I'm painting up Stormvermin, but for the sake of this video we're just gonna focus on one, and then I'm gonna paint the rest of them in assembly line afterwards. I bought them second hand from the troll trader, so I have 10, not 20, and they were already assembled, which saved me some time, except that it made some mold lines really hard to get to. I also had to cut off the square bases to put them on round bases so they fit with the rest of my Skaven. As always, I'm trying to stick to the palette I've used for my previous Skaven videos, so that my good friend Tembo doesn't have to buy a ton of paint to follow these tutorials. And as always, I'm undercoated with Wraithbone spray. For starters, I'm gonna take some Guilliman flesh, and this is for the skin. There are a bit of skin shown, even though it wears a ton of armor. Next up, because it's Stormvermin, I'm gonna take some Basilicanum Grey instead of Gorg Hunter fur to paint in the fur. Next up, I'm gonna paint the tail with Volupus Pink. As always, and I've said this in pretty much every Skaven video, you could just use Guilliman flesh for the tail. That would make them look more like the Games Workshop paint job. But I like the pink tail Skavens. Now, some Flesh Terrace Red, and this is for all his clothing. Now, some Wildwood, and this is just for the Halberd shaft. Now, some Black Templar, and this is for everything that's going to be metallic later on, so quite a lot. Armor, weapon. Next up, some snakebite leather, and this is for any leather straps and belts and belt pouches. This guy doesn't have a belt pouch, but most of them do. Next up, a little bit of skeleton horde, and this is just for his teeth. And as a final contrast paint, a dot of Blood Angel's red, and this is for his eyes. Before we go on to the metallics, I'll take some Vallejo Dark Earth texture, and texture the base. And now, some gunmetal from Vallejo, and this is obviously for the armor and the weapon, everything we painted black earlier. now, some Nuln Oil, and this is for all the metallics as well as the base texture. The Nuln Oil has finally dried, and now it's time to take some Terminator Stone and dry brush the texture on the base. And finally, some Model Color Black for the base rim. And that's it. All done in no time at all. And while the Nuln Oil was drying, I actually got a bit of paint on the 9 other Stormvermin I have lined up, so they should be done by this evening. I haven't given him any varnish yet, and I have not put tuft on his base because I want to do that after varnishing. But yeah, other than that, he is ready for the Perilous Dungeons of Errant quest. And yeah, Tempo, I hope you found this useful for when you're painting up your own Stormvermin. It was pretty much the same steps as with the clan rats, except for the grey fur and the fact that there are tons more armor. The rest of you, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know below and give it a like if you liked it. Until next time, take care and bye bye.